Gentlemen, you are the cream of the world's air forces. This country desperately needs your help. 6 months ago, an extremely well-armed and organized terrorist force carried out a coup d'etat. Attempts to free our country have been foiled by repeated surprise attacks. To avoid escalating this war and causing unacceptable civilian losses, we wish to employ your services. Surgical airstrikes and the elimination of enemy air superiority will tip the scales in our favor. You will receive remuneration commensurate with your positions as the premier top guns of the world. This is an evaluation of your operational abilities. Intelligence reports an enemy supply unit moving to resupply their forward positions. You should have the advantage of surprise. You should have localized air superiority for the duration of the operation. Target: C5A supply unit.
Ready? Break now! Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy lock wasted! Great shot! Enemy in sight! Wasted! Up ahead! Bogey on our six! Bogey on our tail! Let's return to mission, buddy! Up ahead! Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus! Miss! Great shot! Jesus! Blew him away! Enemy in sight! Up ahead! Enemy targets located! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Back one! Up ahead! Enemy targets located. On our left! Enemy on our right! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Don't let him get a back one! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Fire! Shoot back one! Enemy target located. Up ahead! Locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Here! Post! Bingo! Yahoo! Bingo! Yahoo! Back one! Enemy in front. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Back one! Great shot! Here! Post! Mission accomplished.
Immediate mobilization required. Our base's position was compromised in the last enemy push. Reports indicate imminent arrival of bombers. Scramble and ace those bogies. Target B-52 Bomber Force.
Ready? Break now! Bogey on our 6. Fire! Shoot it up ahead! Enemy target, take off! Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Take off! On our right! Up ahead! Jesus, miss! Jesus, miss! Bogey on our 6.
5 damage. Alert, 5 damage. Alert, 5 damage. Alert, 5 damage. Alert, 5 damage.
Jesus, miss! Stay with him. Don't let him get away. Jesus, miss! Bogey on our 6. Don't let him get away. Take off. Stay with him. Here, out. Enemy locked on. Bogey on our 6. Blew him away. Bogey on our tail. Take off. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down.
Alert, 5 damage. Alert, 5 damage. Alert, 5 damage. Alert, 5 damage. Alert, 5 damage.
Enemy inside. Up ahead! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! City is wasted! Stay with him. City is wasted! On our right! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Toes! Focus on our 6. Mission accomplished.
AWACS reports an enemy incursion in our sector. We are diverting you from local air support to forward operations. Neutralize the approaching units. Target enemy attacking force. Formation makeup is unknown. Expect enemy fighter support and a tough dogfight. Good luck.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Enemy up ahead! Take off! On our right! Focus 12 o'clock! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Focus on our 6. Take off! Focus on our 6. Fire! Shoot it down! Bang! Take off! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Great shot! Don't let him get away! Wait! On our right! Focus on our 6. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Yahoo! Focus on our 6. Don't let him get away. Take off! And up ahead!
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile
Alert,
approaching.
body damage.
Dive!
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Enemy
Alert,
target
body
located.
damage.
Enemy target located. On our left. Up ahead. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Jesus, miss! Stay with him. Out! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! locked on target. Fire! Shoot down! They blew him away! Mission accomplished.
Up to now, our offensive missions have been constrained by the presence of civilians in Donut City. A recent evacuation of that city permits us to engage hard targets within the city perimeter. Target 1, Computer Communications Center. Target 2, Enemy Headquarters Building. Night conditions should neutralize enemy ground fire. However, the city has at least 3 interceptors available. We have no intelligence on force composition. From now on, you will have a wingman assigned to you. Inform him of the operation before departure.
Ready? Right now!
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Enemy targets located. Take off! Altitude too low. Fly!
Caution.
Enemy on our right! Bingo! Yahoo! Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our tails. Take off. Altitude too low. Fly. Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Fly. Locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy locked on target at 12 o'clock. Up ahead! Mission accomplished.
Reconnaissance indicates a weak link in their fuel supply infrastructure. A single pipeline transfers all crude oil from their fields to their refinery. Strike both the pipeline and the refinery. Target: oil refinery plant and oil field. Use the pipeline as a reference to the refinery. Locate and destroy.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Located forward lock. On our way. Altitude too low. Flying. On our left. Up ahead! Fire! Focus on our 6. Enemy targets located. And take off! Altitude too low. Flying!
Focus.
Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located.
Warning.
Lock on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Enemy in sight. Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! On our right.
Focus.
Focus on our 6. Take off! Focus on our 6. Let's return. Take off! Enemy targets located. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy locked. Focus on our 6. Altitude too low. Flying.
Focus.
Focus on our 6.
Focus.
Focus on our 6. Take off. I'm losing him. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. On our left. Focus on our 6. Enemy, take off.
Focus.
Enemy in sight. And up ahead.
Focus.
Enemy targets located. Altitude too low. Flying. Focus on our 6. Focus on our tail. Take off. Let's return to mission, buddy. I'm losing him. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Bingo! Yahoo! Mission accomplished.
The enemy has proved to have significant resources. This war of attrition is not to our advantage. We are now targeting key infrastructure sites. Target: resources mining system and production plant. Intelligence reports stealth fighters operating in this theater. Remember, their lack of radar signature makes visual sighting essential.
Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Focus 12 o'clock. On our left. Low, flying. Enemy in sight. Take off! Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Him away! Enemy locked on target. Bingo! On our left! Focus on our 6. We locked a missile approach.
Warning!
Guys!
Warning!
Enemy focus on our 6. Take off!
Caution!
Let's return to mission, buddy! Bogey on our tail! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on bogey at 12 o'clock!
Caution!
Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy target located. Up ahead! Westward on our right! Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Oh, fire! Bogey on our 6. On our right! Bogey on our 6. I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Take off! Bogey on our tail! Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Altitude too low. Flying! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Enemy target located. Altitude too low. Flying! Mission accomplished.
The enemy's ADCRS, Air Defense Command and Radar System, has been identified. We can expect a steep drop in enemy effectiveness if this site is destroyed. The enemy has an effective SAM kill zone around the target. Its one weak point is a narrow ravine leading to the base. This requires precision, nap of the earth flying. Target, enemy radar site. You have no effective countermeasures to this model of SAM. Exit the ravine and you are toast.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bag one! Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution. Low altitude. Caution.
Too low. Flying!
Low altitude. Caution.
Bingo! Yeah!
Low altitude.
Too low.
Caution.
Flying!
Low altitude. Caution.
Up ahead! Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution. Low altitude.
Shot! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Toast! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Altitude too low. Flying!
Caution. Low altitude. Caution.
Too low. Flying!
Low altitude.
Great shot!
Caution.
Up ahead! Slow, flying! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Mission accomplished.
Regaining Donetsk City is a prime strategic consideration for the enemy. To forestall offensive operations, we will strike their staging area. Target, staging facilities and B-1 bombers. Our goal is to hit them just before their incursion begins.
Ready? Break now! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Bingoes! Focus on our 6. On our left! Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Shot! Bingo! Away! Back one! I'm losing him! Enemy target located. Let's return to mission, buddy! Enemy locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Take off! Enemy target located. Fire! Shoot it down! Bingo! Alright! Up ahead! Bogey at 12 o'clock. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Shoot him away! Enemy target located. On our right. Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Bingo! Yahoo! I'm losing him! Enemy targets located. East, coast. Enemy in sight. Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution.
Enemy locked on target.
No altitude.
Bogey on our 6. Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution.
Take off. Altitude too low.
No
Climb.
altitude. Caution. Caution.
Altitude too low. Climb. Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution. No altitude. Caution.
Altitude too low. Climb.
No altitude.
Bogey on our tail.
Caution. No altitude.
Altitude too low.
Caution.
Climb.
No altitude.
Bogey on our tail.
Caution.
Altitude too low. Climb.
No altitude. Warning.
Locked on us.
Warning.
Altitude too low. Climb.
Caution.
Mission accomplished.
Naval Intelligence report a transport heading to Nawikot Bay. Since it may be a troop transport, we need to sink it before it docks. Follow up with destruction of the island port facilities. The opposition is expected to consist of an enemy fighter wing of unknown composition and patrolling Aegis warships. The Aegis missile system is highly effective. Eliminate the warships quickly.
Ready? Break now! Enemy locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Enemy targets located. Take off! Bogey on our tail! Enemy targets located. I'm losing him! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Caution! Fine! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Slow, flying. Bogey on our 6. Enemy target located. Take off. Enemy target located. Enemy target located. And up ahead. On our left. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Slow, flying. Take off. On our left. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Slow, flying. Mission accomplished.
Your mercenary unit has proved its reliability. We request you aid in the extraction of one of our officers from the enemy mountain fortress. We can only send one unit without alerting the opposition. Target: cripple enemy air defense and land on their runway. Only you have the requisite skills. You will be paid handsomely.
Ready? Right now! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Great shot! Moved on our tail! On our left! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot down! Take off! On our left! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Enemy locked on. Bogey on our tail! Enemy target located. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Take off! Bogey on our tail!
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile
Caution.
approaching. Dive!
Caution.
Dive!
Caution.
On our left! On our left! Enemy in sight. Enemy up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Jesus, miss! Bogey on on target. Fire! Quick shot! Bogey on our 6. On our right. Up ahead. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Take off. Bogey on our 6. Enemy targets located. Enemy locked on target. Out! On our right! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. On our left! On our right! Up ahead! On our right! Enemy in sight. Up ahead! Bogey on our 6. And up ahead! Take off! Bogey on our tail! Enemy on our left! Enemy in sight. Bogey on our 6. Right! Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail! On our left! Bogey on our 6. Enemy targets located.
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! I'm losing him! Enemy targets located.
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! On our left. Bogey on our 6. We'll take off. Enemy targets located.
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Take off! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Out! On our right! Bogey on our 6. On our right! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Shoot him away!
The captured port has become a key resupply facility for our forces. We cannot allow the enemy to cripple or recapture it. Current intelligence suggests the enemy is preparing a bombing raid utilizing stealth bombers. Even one can devastate the facility. Keep alert. Target, stealth bomber wing.
Ready? Break now! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Quick shot! Focus on our 6. Up ahead! Move, take off! On our right! Enemy in sight. Focus on our 6. Up ahead! Take off! On our left! Focus on our tail! Focus on our 6. Enemy locked. Take off! Quick shot! Bag one! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot down! Bingo! Enemy locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive!
Caution.
On our right! Enemy in sight. Focus on our 6. Enemy in sight. Focus on our 6. Focus on our tail. Focus on our 6. On our right. Take off. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. Quick shot. Focus on our tail. On our left. Up ahead. Back one. Focus on our tail. Mission accomplished.
The enemy is committing its huge mothership to this theater. They are growing desperate. Eliminate the mothership and their naval mobility is crippled. There are no reference points on the ocean. Pay attention to the operational map. Target mothership.
Ready? Break now! Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Focus on our 6.
Alert, body damage.
Too low.
Alert,
Fine.
body damage. Alert,
Take
body
off.
damage. Alert, body
Too low.
damage.
Fine.
Alert, body
Shot.
damage.
On our left. Focus on our tail. Enemy in sight. On our right.
Caution.
Quick shot.
Caution.
Enemy locked on target.
Caution.
Quick shot. Focus on our 6. Focus on our 6. Focus at 12 o'clock. Altitude too low. Climb. our 6. On our right. Enemy up ahead. On our right. Bogey on our 6.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Take off.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Up ahead.
Warning.
Locked on us. Visual approaching. Dive. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Bogey on our 10. Take off. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Enemy bogey on our 6. Bingo! Yahoo! Bogey on our tail. Take off. On our left. Up ahead. Bogey on too low. Fine. Enemy in sight. Mission accomplished.
Despite the elimination of all fuel refineries, the enemy continues to conduct operations. You are assigned to recon for undetected fuel supplies. Even though this is just recon, engage and eliminate any opposition patrols. Good hunting.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Fine.
Caution.
Fire up ahead. On our left. Take off. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on us. Visual approaching. Dive. Enemy target located. Up ahead. Visual approaching. Dive. On our right. Enemy in sight. Bogey on our tail. Enemy bogey on our 6. Jesus, missed. On our left. Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Up ahead. On our bogey on our 6. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight. Fire. Shoot him down. Post. Take off. On our right. Up ahead. On our right. Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Bogey on our 6. Take off! Enemy in sight. Fire! Shoot it down! Jesus, miss! Bogey on our tail! On our left!
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! On our right! Bogey on our 6. Jesus, miss! Bogey on our 6. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Take off! Jesus,
Warning.
miss!
Warning.
Jesus, miss! Don't let it. Bogey on our tail!
Warning. Warning.
On our left! Bogey on our 6.
Warning.
Enemy in sight. On our right. Bogey on our 6. On our right.
Warning. Warning.
Up
Warning.
ahead. Bogey on our 6. On our right. Up ahead. Enemy locked on. Bogey on our 6. On our left. Bogey on our 6. Bogey on our tail. Take off. Enemy targets located. Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6. Enemy targets located. Take off. Enemy locked on target. Fire. Shoot it down. Bogey on our 6. Fire. Shoot it down. Wasted. Take off. Bogey on our 6. Enemy in sight.
Warning.
Locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Take off! Bogey on our 6.
Warning.
Enemy targets located. Bogey on our 6. Enemy targets located. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Mission accomplished.
Our recon work has identified the last fuel depot. Go and bomb it flat. Target: a group of fuel production bases. The enemy is using its top guns in this theater. Keep focused and good hunting.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Bingo! Yahoo! Altitude too low. Fine. Moving on our tail. Enemy target located. Take off! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. On our right! On our left! Enemy altitude too low. Fine!
Caution.
Focus on our six.
Low altitude.
Bingo!
Caution.
Altitude too low. Fine!
Low altitude.
Take off! On our right! Up ahead! Enemy locked on. Enemy locked on us. Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Enemy target located. Take off! Up ahead! Missile approaching. Dive! Dive! Up ahead! Let's return! Enemy locked on target. Fire! Back one! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Enemy target located. Enemy locked on up ahead. Great shot! Bogey on our six. Take off! Up ahead! On our left! Enemy bogey at 12 o'clock! Bogey on our tail! Bogey on our six! Take off! Bogey on our tail! On our left! Enemy in sight! Bogey on our tail! Enemy locked on target! Enemy target focus! Too low! Flying! Bingo! Yahoo! Bogey on our six! Take off! Up ahead! On our left! Bogey on our altitude too low! Flying!
Caution.
Mission accomplished.
offensive operations are now concentrated on the Scorpion Island fortress. The base itself is a hard nut to crack, but we will isolate it by eliminating its bridge and central runway. Target: Red Suspension Bridge to the island and its Air Force base. There will be plenty of AK and SAM defenses around the runway. Go in for one pass and break off operations.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy target located. Enemy locked on target. Break time! Focus on our 6. Take off! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Break shot! Enemy target located. On our left, focus on our 6. Enemy in sight. Take off!
Focus.
Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target.
Focus.
Shot! Enemy in sight.
Focus.
Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy locked on target. Jesus! Enemy target located. Focus on our 6.
Alert body damage. Alert body damage.
Take off!
Alert body damage. Alert body
Focus
damage.
on our tail!
Alert body damage.
Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Enemy target close. Focus on our 6. Take off! Enemy target located. Focus on our 6. On our left. Enemy in. Take off! Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Fly! Enemy locked on target. Altitude too low. Fly! Take off! On our right. Enemy up ahead. Focus on our 6. On our right. Focus on our take off. Quick shot. Up ahead. On our left. Mission accomplished.
The enemy is on his last legs. One more strike should lay him out. Take your unit through the ravine to the enemy headquarters. Intelligence is sketchy on force composition near the headquarters, so keep on your toes. Fly low on your way in. Everything above the ravine is a SAM kill zone.
Ready? Break now! Enemy inside. Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Back one! Enemy altitude too low. Flying! Enemy in. Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Fire! Shoot it down! Wasted! Up ahead! Enemy locked on target. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it down! Blew him away! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target. Fire! Shoot it back one! Up ahead! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Fire! Enemy target located. Enemy in sight. Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight. Enemy locked on target.
Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage. Alert, body damage.
Mission accomplished.
Urgent message. Enemy giant airborne fortress discovered. This may be your final task. Eliminate it before it reaches our airspace. Good luck.
Ready? Break now! Enemy in sight. Enemy locked. Enemy target located. Move the other tail!
Caution.
Enemy target located. Move the other tail! Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight.
Caution. Caution. Caution.
Locked on target.
Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo!
Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo! Enemy target located.
Caution. Caution.
Bingo! Yahoo!
Caution. Caution. Caution.
Bingo!
Caution. Caution. Caution.
Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight.
Caution. Caution.
Enemy targets located. Great shot! Great shot! On our left! Bingo! Look on the tail! Enemy locked on target. Great shot!
Caution.
Enemy in sight. Enemy in sight.
Caution.
Enemy locked on target. Great shot! Bingo! Enemy locked on target. Look on the tail! Great shot! Great shot! Bingo! Bingo! Bingo!
Congratulations, the enemy has capitulated and the coup has failed. The rightful government has been restored to this peaceful country. Your skill as Top Guns changed the balance. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you.
エイスコンバット。プレイステーションで送る超音速のドッグファイト。君の知らない世界がここにある。エイミサイロックオン and ロックンロール。ビンゴ無敵の 3D シューティングゲームプレイステーションナムコエイスコンバット。
バババババババ緊急事態緊急事態バババババババババ。あ、失礼いたしました。ちょっと昔の悪い癖が出てしまいまして。次に登場するのはエアコンバットです。迫力のあるドッグファイトお楽しみください。ババババババ。
You're a mercenary pilot being paid to retake a nation controlled by terrorists. The mission success, not to mention your life, rests solely on your ability to fly and fight through every kind of combat the sick minds that Namco could think of. Air-to-air combat, air-to-sea combat, air-to-ground combat, air-to-Michael Jordan combat, air-to-air to combat combat. Need I say more? Sure I do, I'm the announcer. The 3D polygon graphics will have you holding your jaw together with polygrip. Air combat will blow you away. That is, if Mr. Terrorist hasn't already done so.